now, reaching for some medicine or cream in the first aid kit to treat an injury is fairly common for us, but it is not something we expect animals to do. For the first time, scientists in Indonesia have spotted a wild orangutan treating a wound on his cheek by applying a paste from a medicinal plant.
This is Rakus. He's just been injured, probably after fighting with other male orangutans. Now he's preparing to do something we are all familiar with, trying to heal a wound.
He was eating on it for 13 minutes and then repeatedly applied the plant juice from his mouth directly onto the wound. It looked similar to a wound plaster. It healed also quite fast, so within a couple of days it was already fully closed.
A month later, the injury was completely gone.
Most animals do not understand that an image in a mirror is a reflection of the world around them. But like a small child, pigs as young as 6 weeks old are clever enough to work this out. To test out the concept, a mirror is set up at right angles to a solid barrier. On one side of the barrier, a bowl of food is placed on the floor. When the hungry piglet is released, he can only see the food if he looks in the mirror.
The pig looked in the mirror and saw the food bowl. If it had treated the food bowl as if it was behind the mirror, it's just a plate of glass as it were, then it would have gone to the left and around behind the mirror.
But the piglet quickly realises the food is just a reflection, and to reach it, he has to walk behind the barrier. It took this 6-week-old piglet just a few hours to learn the concept of a mirror, something that takes a young child several months.
Now, you may take for granted that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you understand that that beautiful face looking back is your own. But are we alone in this ability? Dr. Josh Plotnick and his colleagues demonstrated that elephants, when exposed to a mirror over a period of time, go through a number of different changes in their behavior, as scientists have shown in those other species. The first of these stages is called social behavior. The first stage is social. The animal sees its reflection and simply sees a stranger. Your dogs and cats will do this and sometimes act aggressively towards the image, or will be uninterested altogether, but will never move beyond this stage. However, it's vital and initial to understanding your reflection. 2. Test behavior. Now, the animal begins to learn to test its reflection. In other words, why is that animal doing the same thing that I'm doing? Now we're moving on to stage 3, self-directed behavior.
This is where we start to see some really cool behavior. At some point, the animal recognizes the mirror reflection as themselves. They start using the mirror to investigate parts of their body they've never seen before, or their faces in ways that may seem familiar to anyone that uses a mirror in the morning to check themselves out. Final stage, the mark test. All of these behaviors certainly seem to demonstrate that the elephants understand what they're looking at. But how can we test this in a more concrete way? Well, back in 1970, Gordon Gallup, a chimpanzee researcher, was the first to come up with an answer. The scientist places a visible mark on an animal's body at a location they can only see in the reflection of a mirror. If the animal approaches the reflection and touches the mark on the mirror image, in other words, on the mirror animal, this may mean they are confused about what's going on. But if they use the mirror to investigate and potentially wipe away the mark on themselves, they are clearly demonstrating that they understand the mirror image as a reflection of self.